discussion about the wall space the TV is going to take at home. And it's not a discussion about whether you should have a 3D TV at home. It's a discussion about where television is going in the future. Our panel of experts will examine the latest global and local broadcast trends. We're talking about the rise of the web TV. We're talking about second screen viewing. We're talking about transmedia storytelling, about social TV applications, about corporate TV journalism. So tonight, we're also very pleased to introduce our speakers. So an expert panel was required for an event as dynamic as tonight, for a topic as dynamic as tonight, and we're very glad to present that expert level of a panel. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Our panel includes Jill Grinda, who's the Vice President of Operations for CASBAA. CASBAA stands for the Cable and Satellite Broadcast Association of Asia. So CASBAA is the association, I'm going to get this right here, I hope, Jill, for digital multi-channel television, content, platforms, advertising, and video delivery across Asia. So prior to joining CASBAA, Jill worked for roles including at Euronews, Al Jazeera, CNBC, Bloomberg Television, and the ABC, which was the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. We're also pleased to have tonight Leslie Tang. Leslie is a correspondent of Channel News Asia. Based in Hong Kong, Leslie's face is probably one you know very, very well. She covers the hot topics in Hong Kong of business, features, and news. Leslie, we're really pleased to have you here today as the inside knowledge on our panel. James Ross. James is a director at Lightning International, which is his own company that he set up about a year ago. James actually launched the team for Bloomberg Television, who was on the launch team, should I say, of Bloomberg Television here in Hong Kong. And he did that for 10 years before he moved on to launching ITV, the UK's largest broadcaster here in Hong Kong, which he did for a number more years before he decided it was about time to use his invaluable knowledge and branch out into the world for himself. So James, thank you for being here this evening. And last but never least, Doug. Who in the room doesn't know Doug? Do I need to? Doug White is the director of PRDA. So with over 20 years of digital experience, Doug brings interesting dynamic to our panel tonight. He develops digital and social media strategies for Asian corporates. So that is, he's creating the content that's coming from the brand and that you're seeing as television in this day and age. So Doug, really, a lot of this is for you, the new TV. So let me now pass you over to our esteemed and established moderator over here, Jeremy Wolf. Jeremy is the Senior Vice President and Global Digital and Social Media Practice Lead, long title there, my dear, at Text 100. Jeremy?
May I shortly gain credit, Alex from Nokia. We are so delighted to have such a great event here with you guys. And as it's Valentine's Day, the ladies, happy Valentine's Day. For you as well. Happy Valentine's Day. You obviously have one for you. And you guys have. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nokia. Okay, thank you. Now, we have got a very talented panel, an esteemed group of experts. We've got a series of questions we're going to pose to the panel just to get their response, and obviously I'd like you guys to be involved. There are going to be time for questions afterwards. I want to make this interactive discussion because, to be honest, it's about you. We want to know what you need to know from these folks. First off, though, we're going to show a video which seems appropriate given the topic. This is a very US-centric perspective, but it is an interesting overview of what one particular company, Cisco, thinks is going to happen with television.
Well, sometime in the near future, that may be possible. Television has undergone many changes since the days of rabbit ears and vacuum tubes. Today, the industry stands on the brink of a revolution that will completely transform TV as we know it. The Cisco Internet Business Solutions Group interviewed experts across the TV ecosystem to paint the first holistic view of what television will look like, and we are now sharing that glimpse into the future with our top 10 predictions. Who needs channels? Soon TV will be customized to each viewer's taste. There'll be no need to search through menus. The best streaming and on-demand TV will find you. If you don't have channels, you might as well kiss the remote goodbye as well. Consumers will regularly use language, gestures, and devices such as smartphones and iPads to control the TV. You might raise the volume or choose a different show with a simple flick of your wrist. The TV will not only operate differently, it will look different too. Imagine a screen on the wall that displays a replica of your favorite painting. Wave your hand and it becomes a TV or a video conferencing display. Eventually, we won't buy TVs, we'll buy multi-purpose screens. Personalization will apply to advertising as well as programming. In the future, television ads will be based on what you watch and what you buy. Avid campers might see commercials for tents and backpacks while they watch a show about the great outdoors. The viewing experience of the future will become increasingly immersive. Viewers may be able to friend their favorite TV characters or collaborate with other fans to help characters solve a crime. Interaction with TV content across games, social media, and other arenas will be seamless. Have you ever wished you could watch American Idol with your sister in Seattle or the Super Bowl with your dad in Denver? Technology, from motion capture to video telepresence to holograms, will let us watch TV with faraway friends as if they were in the same room. Other advances in the TV viewing experience will introduce new sensory elements to TV. Olfactory reproduction will enable us to perceive smells and tastes in real time. Tactile reproduction will let us feel the impact on the driver as he crashes his car, or the waft of the sea breeze at the beach. The ability to watch your favorite shows won't be limited to your living room. Your personalized TV content, all of it, will be instantaneously accessible anywhere. Imagine having lunch at a diner and calling up the big game on a screen built right into your booth. As editing and production software become ever more affordable, shows and movies produced by amateurs will be higher quality. Many of these will be ready for prime time and will be offered side by side with studio-produced programming. Content creators are always looking for ways to stay in sync with viewers. One way to do this is to give viewers a hand in the creative process. Maybe fans will go online to share what they think will happen next in a TV drama, or take a vote on how they want a storyline to play out. Rapidly changing technology, consumer behavior, and business models are reshaping the television industry in ways even the Jetsons couldn't have predicted. As Cisco IBSG's research indicates, we're headed into a future filled with innovation and promise for viewers and producers alike. Stay tuned.
So that's one company's perspective. I think to kick off, I'd like to get our panelists' perspective on their overall thoughts on where television is going. We'll start with Leslie and then pass on down.
Well, being in the TV news industry, I often get asked, well, do you think the rise of web TV is going to make TV extinct? I certainly hope not, or else I'm going to be out of a job. But as this video shows, I think it's hard to define what the TV of the future is even going to look like because the possibilities are endless. I think the rise of new media has really changed the playing field for those of us who are in traditional news media. And I think most forms of traditional news media, whether it be TV, radio, television, are all trying to, and print as well, are all trying to chase these trends to make sure that we stay relevant with our viewers and our readers.
The future of television. Well, I think television right now is kind of taking the same path as what you might see newspapers and magazines and so forth. I think there'll always be a place for them. It'll be increasingly more niche. But as more independent content creators start to gain credibility, as we heard Jay talk about the value of bloggers being able to share experiences that we value highly as individuals and consumers, you're going to start to see a greater range of information coming at you. And we already know there's lots of different ways in order to take this information in right now in order to receive it. You don't have to go to YouTube to see YouTube videos. YouTube videos, the majority of them are posted on websites or posted to Facebook or everything else. So where the content originates is not necessarily where you even need to see it. And with that comes the ability for us to increasingly filter what it is that we want to see and choose and be selective. So I think some of the things that we're probably going to start to see is not only a wider range of content for us to continue to choose from, but greater tools for which us to be able to kind of filter and select what it is that we want to. And we'll see some credible people start to rise to the top. And I hope traditional news services don't go by the wayside, because I still put a lot of trust in those, probably more so than a lot of the bloggers and Twitters that I see when it comes to finding out what I believe, what I want it to be, is the unbiased news that I receive. So I think it's still very, very valuable.
As Kira said in her introduction, I work for CASBAA, which is the association that represents the pay television industry across Asia. What we're seeing is we've got a penetration across this region of multi-channel television of about 420 million households. It's enormous, but we still have a huge room to grow. We've got about 53% penetration here. The way that people are consuming television is changing, and we saw that from the video. It's different. We're consuming it in a different way. But one thing it didn't really allude to was the fact that at the end of the day, it's all about content, and content at the end of the day is what's going to win us over. We can consume it in any way we like, but at the end of the day, it's all about having great content.
I think Doug portrayed television a little bit as being a bit of an old-fashioned medium, and I have to totally disagree with that. I think what that video from Cisco underlined is that television ain't going away anytime soon. You know what? It's going to get better, more exciting. It's going to have much more interactivity. There are going to be lots of bells and whistles on it, and it's going to get more and more important in your life. Now, it might not be that the television is going to be coming out of the screen on the lounge or sitting room wall. It may be coming out of a PC, it may be coming out of an iPad, it may be coming out of a phone, or any number of devices that we don't yet know about. But it's still going to be around, and it's going to be huge in our lives. And echoing what Jill said, the thing that's important going forward is what is on TV, and the content is something that we want to watch. Is it funny? Is it interesting? Is it gripping? And those of us that are in the television business are about creating and delivering that fantastic content in whatever way we can get it to you. And that's why the future of television is huge.